Morning. I'm Dr. V. Parimala, Assistant Professor, Selection Grade, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, KPR Institute of Engineering and Technology. The topic for today's presentation is the standards for electrical safety. Generally, for electrical safety, in order to protect the person from any electrical hazards, the rules, regulations, and guidelines is given by different standards. So we look into the standards for the electrical safety. So in these standards, so generally for the Electricity Act 2003, they given a legal framework for the Electricity Act rules and regulation. Then one of the standard for National Fire Protection Associations 70E. This is particularly for the fire production associations for electrical safety in the workplace. Then another is a OSO standard, operational safety and health administration standards. So this is also provide a safety for the employees in the workplaces. Then IEEE standard, in addition with this IEEE standard, having a national electrical safety codes. These are the standards they used for electrical safety. Let us we see the one by one each. Electricity Act 2003 governs the electricity sector in India to consolidating the law relating to the generation, transmission, distribution, trading, and the supply of electricity. It promotes competition, efficiency, and transparency in this sector while ensuring consumer production and environmental sustainability. The main objective of the Electricity Act is establishing the legal framework for the electricity sector, promoting competition and market efficiency, ensuring the consumer productions, regulating the safety standards and environmental protections. The key components of this Electricity Act is licensing and permitting requirements, safety regulations, grid connection and interconnection rules, consumer production measures, environmental regulations, enforcement mechanism and penalties. For the Electricity Act regulations, the regulations are safety standards for the electrical installation, grid codes governing the operation of electricity grids, renewable energy mandates and incentives, tariff regulation for pricing the electricity, so environmental standards for the power plants. The compliance and enforcement of the Electricity Act is they having importance of the compliance with the electricity regulations, how compliance is monitored and enforced, including the penalty for the non-compliance. The challenges and future trends are the challenges facing here, electricity regulations such as technological advancement, climate change, and evolving consumer preferences. The future trends in electricity regulations such as increasing the renewable energy, integration, and grid modernizations. So these are the Electricity Act rules and regulations. In addition to this one, the objective of this Electricity Act is to consolidate the law relating to generation, transmission, distribution, trading, and use of electricity, to take measures suitable for development of the electricity industry, to promote the competitions, to protect the interests of consumers and the supply of electricity to all areas, to ensure transparent policy regarding the subsidies, to promote efficient and environmentally behind policies. To constitute General Electricity Authority CEA regulatory commissions. The main features of the Electricity Act is generation free from licensing, captive generation free from control, restructuring of the state electricity boards, mandatory establishment of regulatory commissions, open access in the transmission, open access in the distribution to be allowed by a state regulator in phased manner. Recognition of electricity trading as a distinct activity. Stringent provisions for violation of grid discipline and theft of power. Supply of electricity to all area and for supply in the rural areas. Rationalization of a electricity tab. These are the main features of a Electricity Act. National Fire Protection Associations 70E to ensure the electrical safety in the workplaces. It provides the guidelines for preventing electrical hazards, protecting the workers from the electrical injuries, and maintaining a safe work environment. The scope and purpose of this NFPA 70E standard is it covers the electric safety requirements for employees in the workplaces. The standard addresses the safety-related work practices, safety-related maintenance requirements, and other administrative control to protect the workers from the electrical hazards. The primary aim is the purpose of this standard is the primary aim to reduce the exposure to risk of electrical shock, arc flash, and arc blast. Work practices concerned with the energized versus de-energized work, establishing electrical safe work conditions, and then for the risk assessment, job safety planning, risk assessment procedure. Then hierarchy of your control, elimination, remove of the hazard, substitution, replace the hazard with the less dangerous one, engineering control, isolate the people from the hazards, administrative controls, change the way people work, personal protective equipments, PPE, use protective clothing and equipments. Components of the electrical safety program, policies and procedure, training and education, auditing and continuous enrollment. The next standard is here, IEEE standard. It means that the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering is a professional organization dedicated to the advancing technology. The main purpose of this standard is to establish the safety requirements and guidelines to protect the workers from the electrical hazards. And also, it promotes the best practices for electrical safety in the various industries. The key importance of this standard is the various types of standard is here. IEEE 1584. It covers the guide for performing arc flash hazard calculations. IEEE 3007.1 recommended practices for the operation and management of industrial and commercial power systems. IEEE C2 National Electrical Safety Code. So in this, the first one is here, IEEE 1584 arc flash hazard calculations. They developed to provide the method for calculating arc flash hazards in the electrical systems. The key components for this calculation are flash incident energy analysis. It determines the potential energy released during the arc flash event. Then arc flash protection boundary. They can define the distance at which PPE is required. So the minimum distance at which PPE to require to attend the any hazardous situation is here. Minimum they can maintain as here 3 feet. Maximum they can be maintained as here 20 feet. Importance. Help in identifying the appropriate safety measures and PPE to protect thee from the arc flash hazards. IEEE 307.1 it covers the operation and the management of the power system. So in this they provide the guidance for the safe operation and management of industrial and commercial power system. In this standard, the key components are safety procedures, maintenance practices, emergency preparedness. So IEEE C2 substandard, they can be defined the National Electrical Safety Code. They can set the ground rules for the installation, operation and maintenance of electrical supply and communication lines. So in this standard, the key components are safety rules for overhead and underground lines, work rule for electrical supply substations. The next standard is here, OSHA standard, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. They set and enforce standard to ensure safety and healthful working conditions, including those related to electrical safety. OSHA electrical safety standard are found primarily in two sections of a code, two sections of the Code of Federal Regulations, CFR. One is a 29 CFR 1910 subpart S that will explain the and also give the guidelines for the general industry. The another section of this standard is a 29 CFR 1926 subpart K. It will give the guidelines for the construction. The key elements of this OSHA electrical safety standard for the general industry. This cover the electrical safety requirement for all general industry workplaces. In this standard, again further they can be subdivided into 4 parts, and that is a 1910.301 to 308. This will depict the design safety standards for the electrical systems. In this category, 1910.303 is a general requirements, 1910.305 wiring methods, components and equipments, 1910.307 hazards locations. It covers the hazard locations. 1910.3312 to 1910.335, it will covers the electrical safety related work practices. So in this category, 1910.331, they having a scope, specify who is covered by these practices. And 1910.332, they give the training. 1910.333, selection and use of work practices. 1910.334, use of equipments. 1910.335, safeguards for personal protections, that is PPE. The another section of this OSHA standard is a 29 CFR 1926 subpart K. They is a relevant to the construction. This standard, it covers the electrical safety requirements specifically for the construction of a electrical installation in the sites. So they having a different code for this one, 1926.4002, 1926.449 for electrical safety construction work. They having a, the first standard, it covers the general requirement. The second one is a wiring design and production. Third one is a wiring method, components and equipments for general use. Fourth one is a general safety requirements. The last one is a lockout and tagging of a circuits.